This call is now being recorded.
Hi, it's Ren Porcio, TopVelocity.net. I've got a special guest on the line who's had some great success with the program thus far, Brendan Keene. Thanks for getting on and let me know about yourself, your success, Brendan. I know you did the program online. You know, I've got those guys who've done it through camps, through 3X training here, and you've done it by yourself online. So kind of talk about, like, we talked a little bit about this, but kind of fill everybody in on how you found the program, why you were looking for the program, kind of that process of reaching out and looking for the 3X Pitching Velocity program.
Okay. I had really heard about the program probably as early as 2012, and I was aware of it. I really didn't begin to look into it more until I graduated college, and I was just past May. Was really just working on ways to improve my velocity and couldn't seem to do it on my own. At that point, I began to look on YouTube for videos on how to improve things, and I came across a lot of your videos, and the explanations behind everything made sense to me more than anything else I'd see. And when I realized I couldn't do it on my own, that's when I finally followed through with the program and realized that it was probably the ideal blueprint for me.
Awesome. Like, what stood out that you really liked or was speaking to you? You know, what really kind of hit you when you were learning about it?
I'd probably have to say the weight training and how that ties into the mechanics and the drill work, the throwing drills and such. I really feel like the two worked hand in hand with one another, and I noticed as my strength went up in the weight room, also correlated to my arm feeling stronger, feeling more explosive, just in my hips and everything else seemed to work together.
Awesome. So talk about where you were in your career at that time. You said you were coming out of shoulder surgery. Was it shoulder surgery or shoulder injury?
Yeah, I had problems since I was didn't play my senior year of high school, and I went to North Florida and then Lake Summit Community College, and then ended up at Flagler in 2013, and ended up going to see Andrews for a shoulder issue that no MRIs was showing issues or problems with. Went there and had him scope it, and that's when he told me, part of my labrum in the front was torn, but nothing had picked it up. And it was really after that surgery that I, really struggled to, get my arm back to what it was, and mechanically was just out of sync with everything.
Yeah, I mean, the challenges of surgery, same thing. I went through rotator cuff tear, surgery, and it's a surgery that you really don't have a good, success rate coming out of.
Right.
It's the one surgery you want to really avoid. Nothing like Tommy John. And it's hard. You come out and you feel like you're starting all over again.
Exactly. And that's how I felt.
Yeah. So, right. And so you kind of like rehabbed it on your own, or you went through the rehabilitation with the PT, and then you kind of put out on your own at that point?
Pretty much. Did therapy with the school for, I believe, about a couple months, and then I was really on my own. And, it's really through that I learned a lot about the shoulder, and, just started to study, biomechanics and just pitching in general, how the body works. And I realized I had to take the stress off my arm. And a lot of your videos would pop up on YouTube.
Awesome. So when you finally, decided to fully commit to the program, I guess what convinced you to fully commit instead of just kind of watching all the free videos and stuff I have out there?
I would probably have to say what really made me commit was, watching the stuff and trying to recreate things on my own, and it was almost to the point where it was like I want drills, that are designed to help me get there. And I felt like that was what was gonna move me forward, as opposed to me just trying to move myself forward and trying to, do these things that are being explained to me. And I think through the drills really where I learned the the motor coordination for, the different movements. But I think that's really what pushed me into really wanting to follow through with the program and, just follow it exactly as it stated.
Good. So obviously when you first started the program, it was pretty tough. So what kept you sticking to it? Like what kept you staying committed and working through all the challenges of the program?
I probably have to say, the first 2 to 3 weeks, it was almost, I would tell myself, you're just learning this stuff. You're just learning these drills. Give it some time. And after reading what you have written there, you said, it takes some time to eventually figure out how to do these different movements. So I kept that in mind until, I began to see the results. And began to feel my arms, just feeling everything working together. I think it was that point when I realized, around the 5th week that things were going up. That's when I was really just addicted to it, and, there was no desire to even want to stop or miss a day.
That's awesome. So, how hard were you throwing before you really started to learn this approach, and before you even started searching for this approach? Like, how hard were you throwing back then?
I was probably on average 86.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so as you went through it and you started to progress, and week 5 or wherever, as you got to completing the program, what point did you break and hit 90?
That was, I believe it was the 13th week of the program.
Awesome. And then, is that the video you put online, or is that just one you put on recently?
Yeah, the video I put on Instagram was the
Oh,
when
cool.
that happened.
Hit 90, cool. So, did you continue to gain following week 13 and breaking 90?
No, I mean, consistently was really, when I would bring the gun out, it was, 88, 89, 90. And that's really what it's been, up, from then to now. And I personally think that there's still plenty of room to be, for improvements to be made. And that just keeps me sticking with it.
Have you broken any higher than 90? I think you mentioned something like 92. Has that just been one time, or what?
Oh, yeah, that was at school. That was in the fall of 2014 or 15. I'm sorry.
Okay. And that's the highest you've seen yourself since?
That's the highest that I've seen myself at all, and
Wow.
but there was never any consistency behind anything.
Right.
So
you'd
now
say consistently. You'd say consistently, how much have you gained
through your program?
Yeah.
I would say 5 to 6 miles an hour of just straight consistency.
So do you feel like, have you looked into that level 2, level 3 programs to see?
I actually have the level 2.
Do you have level 3?
I don't have level 3. I just have level 2.
All right. Well, let me send you level 3. I think that's going to be big for you, taking it to the next level with all the torsion throws, the sled work, and then the lifting is pretty advanced there. I think you're ready for that.
I think so. I'm ready. I mean, I've been working level 2 right now.
Yeah, so let me send you level 3. Remind me after this. I'll send it to you. I think I built that for guys really trying to consistently break into the mid-90s, low mid-90s. So that would be perfect for you. Kind of talk about so now that you look back, what would you credit as being significant from the program to helping you make that 5 to 6 mile an hour gain?
If I had to point to one thing, probably out of everything, I'd probably have to say the Olympic lifts, the power cleans, the power jerks, split jerks.
Yeah.
I feel like all of that, really just made me so much more explosive in my lower half. And then on top of
Yeah,
it,
I saw your power clean on Instagram. It looked really impressive. So
it definitely took me some time to, to learn, the proper movement to it. But once I
you did a
started
good
figuring out
job.
my
You
form,
had good technique.
thank you.
Well, good. So what besides the Olympic lifts, what else helped? Was there anything else that was significant?
Probably say the throwing drills, as far as the med ball throws, and then the target throws afterwards. I really felt like days where I would do Olympic lifts before I would throw, that next day I would feel, for whatever reason, feel really good, really explosive, just with everything.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the motor recruitment activity that you're conditioning your body to endure is, retains history, and that's the whole progression of this. You become more explosive because you're forcing your body to be more explosive through the lifts. And there's really no better way of. Have you ever experienced any other training methods that make you feel that explosive?
Not at all. I mean, I tried everything
Right.
too, from just weighted balls to all this other stuff. And, finally got to a point where I was throwing my hands up and was like, there's got to be something out there that, that's really backed by, science. It actually makes sense. And, sure enough, that's when I really looked into what you had.
Awesome, man. Well, I'd love to have you down for a camp, man, if you ever want to come to a camp. But I want to send you to level 3 and help you keep going. I mean, I can see your athleticism looks very impressive. I mean, obviously you must feel like you're such a better athlete, in this process, right?
Oh, by far. I mean, I'd probably say my strength is, I've never been this strong in my life. At all.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun when you go and play
awesome.
other sports too, isn't it?
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. Well, how old are you now?
I'm 23.
Okay.
I just at home. I graduated. I really didn't get an opportunity to play over at Flagler. So I'm just, trying to get an opportunity, to play somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to get that ball speed a little bit more, but you're right there. I mean, you're right on the cusp of being in a good place.
I just feel like
so yeah, I think levels. I feel like what?
Look at my own videos and going, I just feel like it's, things are missing.
Yeah, well, what's your, also too, let's look at your power to weight ratio. How much do you weigh?
About 193 pounds, I'd say.
Okay, and what's your max clean?
Max clean is 255.
Yeah, so you're I got to 295. Kevin Schultz, one of our better guys here, he got to 320. And
the power clean.
The point is, yeah, your explosiveness is elite at that point, meaning there's not many people that can move as fast as you at that point.
Right.
You just got to make sure, that you're also are converting that with the better mechanics. But sometimes just getting even to that elite level of speed that your body typically wants to move better. So
I just feel like, a lot of my issues, it's like mechanically, my upper half is really where a lot of my issues are stemming from. And I don't know if it's, not keeping everything locked off until the last minute, or if I'm, opening up prematurely, or my glove side is, I just feel like it's something in my upper half more so than the lower half that's not working properly.
Well, you need to send me a video. I'll break down and do an analysis for you, and we'll be able to see all that.
Okay. What angle do you want that in?
Give me side views, games like one pitch, full speed, side view. So like chest side. So.
Okay. Um, so you said that, I mean, because my aunt lives over in Slidell.
Yeah,
You said
you should get down, man. Well,
you have cane.
let
I
me
mean, 'cause
finish
I
the
can live with
interview.
her.
Yeah, well, let me finish the interview, and we'll settle that up. I definitely want you
Okay.
to come down.
Okay.
Well, cool. So, I mean, I like to end it on, not many guys, first of all, are willing to take the time to commit to a program like this. They're not willing to take the time to learn, the Olympic approach, to learn all the technical aspects to this approach and to the drills. Like, what do you say to those guys out there that were in the same place as you, looking for something that would help them kind of reach their goals, maybe live their dreams, and they're not sure what to do? I mean, what do you have to say to those guys?
If I had to say anything to those guys, the fact that I was in their shoes at one time, I would say, that this truly works, and if you've been eyeballing it and watching it, you need to just follow through and do it, because it's probably the most rewarding thing you'll ever do if you stick through it the entire way. That's exactly what it says, and I 100% believe that now, because it's done it to me, and I took the time to do it. It's awesome.
Well, what do you say to them, to those who, get to that point where they struggle and it gets frustrating for them? What do you tell them to help them through those times?
I would just stick the course. If you have a bad day, you go home, you flush it, and you wake up the next day and you just go back out and keep working. And eventually you see the results come, and and that's really when you're just hooked. There's no turning back on it.
It gets addicting after a while, doesn't it?
It's just addicting. The weight room, the throwing, the everything, because you're seeing these results come in, and it's not, you had to work for it. There was no magic pill. I think that is the most rewarding thing about the entire program.
Exactly. You got to earn it. There's no cheat, right?
No, not at all.
Right. Well, cool, man. Well, this is a great interview. All right. Well, I'm gonna end the interview and then stay on the line. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna end the interview and then stay on the line. Okay.
Okay.